Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another video. So this particular video, as you can see from the title, of course, came from the last vlog that I did when I was speaking about some of the huge things that I felt like, okay, now Essie's moving out of. This is all regarding baby stuff, and I did just a brief summary of what I think that you as a parent, I'm not gonna say mom, but you as a parent should be investing in and things like that. So I think it's always awesome to have someone that you can relate to in this particular context, because I remember when I was pregnant with Essie, I would obviously binge on a lot of mom content, baby essentials, what to get, what not to get, but they were American based YouTubers. Nothing wrong with that. We learn literally everywhere, but it's always nice to have someone that you can relate to, and that you can actually get the products here in our own country, right? So cool. That is what this video is about. I'm about to show you how expensive babies are, okay? How expensive they are. But these are some of the essentials that I feel that you need as a new mom, and this is going to range from 0 to 6 months. Just a disclaimer, you may or may not hear my baby somewhere in the background. You might just hear a few oohs and ahs, but outside of that, Ezekiel. Exactly. But other than that, let's get right into the video. So I'm just gonna go over a quick and brief recap just to make this video one whole video. What I mean by that is that I don't want you to have to refer to the other video. You can just find everything you need here. So I'm gonna start with from 0 to 3 months, what I feel is important, what I feel that you should get. I'm gonna talk about products. Again, I just do need you to know that none of this is sponsored. This is from my own experience, so we are not being biased. I'm just giving you what worked for me. Also remember that babies react differently, so always take that with a pinch of salt. If you buy a product and realize later on it's not going to work with your baby because of ABC, then that's okay. You can always comment below and share what worked for you, what didn't work for you. If you are within the creative space, then go ahead and share a video of what worked for you, and I guess other people can learn from that as well. First things first for me, obviously, like I said, is a place where baby's going to sleep. I think this is one of the first things that a parent should think about. Where is your kid gonna sleep? I gave you two options last time. It was either a cot or either a co-sleeper. I feel like a co-sleeper for me is very important. I feel like you can actually get both. But you can get co-sleepers that can transform into cots, so you can literally get a 2-in-1. I have a co-sleeper. It's just unfortunate that it doesn't transform, so now that Essie knows how to climb out of things, it's not really going to be as of use, but I do have a cot to now transfer her in. You get what I'm saying? Co-sleeper for me is important because you can literally, it moves around, it moves around, it's movable, I guess, and you can always put it on the side of your bed. It's easy when you are doing night feeds, and when baby's still fairly young, like I said, 0 to 3 months, you can just grab them, put them on the boob, or feed them with the bottle, whatever it is that you're going to be doing, and however it is that you're going to be feeding them, and then that works pretty perfect. So that's just a place for baby to sleep. I just like the convenience, okay? That's what I'm talking about, convenience. The next thing is a cot. Now your cot goes into your nursery. If your room is big enough, or if you have the space, you can do the same thing. I feel like as a mom, as a parent, I need to correct myself, as a parent, use your discretion and also see what works best with your finances. If you have a nursery and you can really afford to go all out in a full-on nursery and get a co-sleeper, happy for you, do it. If not, you can get those co-sleepers that transform into cots, and it's very, very, it's affordable, very, very affordable. You literally just have to Google and then see which price works best for you. Next thing is a feeding pillow. This one I feel like is really, really important for me, right? Feeding pillow is important. So when Essie was born, there was a nurse who taught me how to latch, right, the baby. There was a way in which I had to hold Essie, and then there was a way in which I had to maneuver my boob so that she could latch properly. When I went back home, obviously I didn't have the feeding pillow at the hospital, but when I went back home, the feeding pillow helped me a great bit when it came to her feeding and her latching really well. So I think it's really great for the support that you would need as a breastfeeding mom. I feel like even a bottle feeding mom, because it goes around your waist or on your lap, it's just nice to sit and prop baby up on that so that you're not strained. So that's another thing I feel that on your list of things, I hope you're taking notes, on your list of things to get as a new mom from 0 to 3 months. I really think that you should jot that down. Next one is a breast pump. To pump or not to pump, totes up to you. There's so many pros, so many cons. The pros that if baby is breastfed baby, you can literally pump leave it, go out with your friends for a while, or go out with your partner for a while, or husband, or whatever the case may be. Gives you the leeway to go out for a while and know that at least your baby's still drinking the nutrients that they will have to drink. And then let's go into your car seat, and this is gonna also transition into a pram, whether to pram or not to pram, but we'll get there in a minute. The next thing you need is gonna be a car seat. If you are mobile and you guys are gonna be driving around with baby, please don't take that chance. Just get a car seat, bite the bullet. It can be pricey depending on where you look, but just bite the bullet, spend that coin. But listen carefully. So when it comes to car seats, there are those car seats that you can get, like the ones from Chile baby, that transform from 0 when the baby's like newborn all the way up to 3 years, okay? Then there are those car seats that are just like the normal baby car seats that you hold, that you see newborn parents holding. And usually those kinds of car seats are the ones that come with the pram and or stroller set, right? Now, this is what I need you to get in mind or have in mind, okay? If you're just going to buy a car seat, don't buy the baby car seat thing. Rather get a car seat that you can transform, and I'm sure it can set you back around at least from starting point 2.5, depending on where you get it from. So get one that can transform from 0, from newborn stage, infancy stage, all the way up to 3 years. Because what I realized is that with S, we had that baby one, okay? And then now that she's sitting up and she's big now, she's 9 months, she needed a big girl seat. And now we had to go and spend more money to get a big girl seat. The ones that help them sit upright and prop them up with a bit of a platformy thing, whatever. I feel like that's a waste of money. Whereas had I known, I honestly would have bought the ones that transform from 0 months all the way to 3 years or whatever the case may be. That is just my opinion, that's my experience. I'd love for you to at least think about that and consider it. When it comes to the pram, I don't think the design or aesthetic is really an issue. It's just about usability. Are you going to be using it? Is it worth, like, is it going to help for your lifestyle? From 0 to 3 months, sometimes I feel like you can carry baby in the baby carriers, which is another important thing. Get a baby carrier, but I'm going to get into that. So whether you, at most times, especially when Essie was small for me, I preferred to have her here and she preferred to be on me, so I used the baby carrier. But yes, when she got a little bit older, the pram was perfect for her. So if you can spend your money, I would say rather get a carrier first. So you can get a baby carrier first and then go ahead and get a pram. Now here's another thing with the carriers. Certain carriers, when you buy them, look at the box. It will tell you, is it 0 to 3 months? Because there are certain carriers that you get and they're literally for tiny babies. Once your baby clocks 4 months or when they grow bigger, they can't use it anymore. It's not comfortable. I realized, and I'm grateful for the gifts that I got, I had a newborn one, and then we had actually bought ourselves one from around 3 to 6 months, and then post 6 months or around that time, then there was the bigger one, not even 6 months. I think from newborn 1 to 3 months and then 3 to 3 months going forward. I had those different ones. So they are those ones that can wrap and adjust with baby's growth. So maybe you can invest in those ones. Focus on ones, or get ones that focus on the baby's longevity, not necessarily aesthetic. Okay. Next thing, obviously we know baby bath. I feel like a baby bath is safer for the baby, and then make sure that it has that seat inside it. And then speaking of bath, let's go into the product. So when Essie was smaller, the hospital recommended that I get Epimax, which I did. So in my mom bag I had Epimax, I had some cotton pads, and that's literally what you bath baby with for the first couple of months. Epimax cotton pads. That worked perfectly for Essie's skin. I didn't have any problems. Do understand that some parents get problems with that, with Epimax, or it doesn't work for their baby skin because their baby may have underlying conditions. There's so many other brands to try from. That's okay, do what works for you. Then during bath time, that's a body. What happens is that babies, when they're born, they get what you call cradle cap. This is nothing to worry about, nothing wrong with the baby. Obviously, as their skin sheds, their skin also sheds on their head, and then once that dead skin sheds, they also have oils in their head, and when those skin cells mix with the oils and again oxygen, it tends to dry up and create almost like a scab like thing or crust. Looks like dandruff. Sometimes it can look like scab like dandruff. It's not that bad. All you need to do is buy Triderm. I use Triderm. It's really great for kids. You can get a discount, and every single bath use that for baby on baby's head. Then you're going to need a baby medical aid kit. It's got things like your thermometer, you know, just to make sure that you're checking baby's temperature, things to suck the nose, don't only get that, just get it. I don't know how much it will set you back, around 200-300, and a lot of these things you can honestly get from Baby City. Or Babies R Us, yes, or Babies R Us, or even Dischem. So get these, get your baby first aid kit, and then also get a baby grooming kit. Their nails grow like claws and they feel like razors, okay? These guys become Wolverine. So you need to always make sure that their nails are trimmed for your own sake and for their sake. Mostly yours. Next up is the issue of which some moms have come into my DMs about, which brand should I use for baby when it comes to nappies and wipes. Honestly speaking, I feel like your baby determines this, right? Because whatever you buy, if it works well for the baby, great. You'll often find what's the determining factor, or the biggest things, is that I could recommend a certain brand and then it not work for your child, right? Because your baby may have certain needs. So different strokes for different folks. Essie is using and has been using Huggies. Yes, I do happen to work with Huggies. If you are on my Instagram page, I do happen to work with them, but I was using Huggies even before. I just bit the bullet and I'm like, I'm gonna try Huggies and I hope that it's gonna work, and it's been working very well. Same thing with wipes. It's totally up to you as a mom and what works best for baby, so it's up to you. Literally, it's up to you. How are you gonna wash baby's clothes? So my mom recommended that I buy the sunlight bar, the purple one, just in case. Apparently if baby's skin is very, like, you know, sensitive, then you might want to start to hand wash the baby's clothes with that particular soap. So that's one tip. But I bought the Purity fabric conditioner, or baby clothing conditioner, and the Purity baby wash. That worked for me perfectly. I still use it on her today. Sometimes the helper would put Omo on the baby's clothes, or use Omo to wash the baby's clothes, and then she started to get like rash and very dry and scaly. So personally, I would not recommend that you use big people soap. Use, if you want to, you can. I would prefer that you use a baby soap. I am recommending Purity because that worked great for me. Another thing that I feel that is a real necessity is feeding chairs, right? So you can get, there are these small feeding chairs that you use, especially once they start sitting up, that you can prop almost anywhere. I got mine from Bumbo Baby, from Bumbo, the brand Bumbo. So the feeding chair ultimately helps you to prop baby up, and once they start either wanting to sit upright, you can put them in that chair just for balance, you know. Obviously, once you get into feeding, it's a great prop to help you start feeding baby once they have the go-ahead at around 4 months. So maybe you're wondering, Buli, what about those like baby sleeping pods, you know, like your Docker tots and stuff like that? Is that necessary to have? I feel like, okay, did I use it? Let's start there. Did I use something like that? Yes, I did. I'll explain the context in which I used it. So whenever you want to transfer baby and move them around, especially when they have no balance and they're small, you just want to leave them in a space where they can just kind of lie down and look up, because that's all that they do. In that regard, yes, you can say it's important, but what I feel like is a trap is the kind of price point that these things have, where you end up spending almost close to 5,000, 6,000, 8,000 on a sleeping pod that sometimes baby can only use between 0 to 4 months, okay? And that's the problem. So what I would recommend is that if you are going to find yourself in that space where you want to have a sleeping pod that baby can use, then buy it. There's so many brands. Number one, the most expensive that we all might know is Docker Tot. Very expensive, but it does the job. It does the job, okay? That's fine. But you can also, if you don't have Docker Tot money, you can get it from Snuggle Time. Same thing. Your baby's not going to know the difference. Less price point, same function. And then you have these almost like sleeping beds. I don't know if they call them like dog beds, but you can get them at Macro. So between those options of Snuggle Time, Docker Tot, and the almost like a bed-like thing that you can find at Macro, I'm hoping that I have a picture so I'll be able to show it to you guys and see what it and show you what it is. That thing sets you back $100, okay? And I feel like it's practical. You can always prop baby up, make them lie down, and then put their mobile toys or whatever. But essentially, baby needs a place to chill. And honestly speaking, guys, I felt like the Macro one had more longevity because number one, it was bigger, had a lot of space. I had all of them. I had all three. I had Dr. Tot, Snuggle Time, and the macro one. And I'm not gonna lie, I recommend the macro one a little bit more than I do the others. They all serve their own purpose, but I feel like you can get more of a stretch out of the one from Macro. And there's no shade to the brand. It's literally what you want to do as a mom. It's totes up to you. And then a feeding chair. A feeding chair for me is another one of those things, very important. I'm not even gonna say, like, I think you've seen it in a lot of my vlogs. They're very practical for me. When I feed Essie, I don't want to do the feeding in my arms thing. I don't want to do that. It's not nice always being the one who's messy and dirty. I feel like also feeding chair teaches the baby that once you're in this chair, it's time to eat, okay? So that works perfectly for me. Then another thing, baby monitor. Is a baby monitor really important? I used it, and I'd say for the purpose that I used it for, yes. So when Essie was born, she had colic, and what my mom used to do, she used to help me proper on her tummy, you know, and then she would always sleep on this kind of like an incline thing. I'm not saying do that. I'm not saying do that. Please do what works for your baby. I don't want to get in trouble. But what helped is that she would sleep on her stomach, and when she slept on her stomach, she slept longer. She also used to like jolt, and then when babies jolt, they wake themselves up, but when they're on their tummy, they sleep for longer. So that's what I did. But now I would also panic because I'm not going to be sitting staring at my child, making sure that she doesn't turn her head when she sleeps. So for safety, that's when I use the baby monitor. So that's what the baby monitor is for me. It's a safety thing. It's just for me making sure that they're okay, especially when you're in two different rooms. And then another thing that I got was a bottle warmer. Is it necessary? I think it's definitely necessary if you're gonna be a bottle mom and helping with breastfeeds, or maybe you want hubby to do the feeds at night. Obviously the milk, when you take it out from the deep freeze where you store milk, you often store it in the freezer or the fridge, will help you obviously keep the milk warm for the baby so that they're not drinking cold milk. And I think it's just in those practical ways, and you as a parent seeing what works best for your baby. That's what I would personally recommend. Those are the things that I feel like once you're pregnant, or once you're even thinking, if it's a consideration, it's very important to watch a video like this so that you actually know what you're signing up for, okay? Whether we like it or not, money must be spent. There's so many other kits and gadgets that you can use that will help your baby. I'm not going to get into that, but for me these are really like your first time mom essentials, and I hope that you guys have learned a little something from this video. Please share it, please like it, send it to a mom, recommend it to a mom. Tell me what some of the stuff that were very essential for you that I probably did not mention here below. I hope it was informative, concise, you know, and if you are expecting, all the best, and I wish you a happy journey. If this is something that you're thinking about, count the coins, start to save up, because it's very important as a parent for you to save up for these things, whether you like it or not. That's the cross that you chose. You're gonna have to deal with it. Exactly. From me and my co-star, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye guys. Don't da-da-zow. Just za-za-zow. Don't da-da-zow. Just za-za-zow. Love you.